Hey everybody, Weston here with the Hidden Gibbon, and today I just wanted to talk a little bit about product fatigue and just the constant flow of products that we're getting. So let's get straight into it. So first, I want to say that every one of the products that I'm about to mention that we have fully seen, I have absolutely loved. Whether that be Final Fantasy, which I was never a big fan of. I love the mechanics in the set. Fun. Edge of Eternities, which I love that set. Great so far. Beautiful arts, beautiful things. And the Sonic Secret Lair, that sort of thing. But what I want to talk about is, so this might be a little bit a boomery of me for Magic, but back when I was newer into Magic, we had a much slower drip of products. I remember things like Time Spiral blocks. For those of you who are newer, would be 3 sets inside of a block, right? And they would all tell a story, overarching themes, and would have some overlapping mechanics and some unique mechanics. So, for example, Time Spiral went Time Spiral. Then several months later, you would have Planar Chaos, and then several months later, you would have Future Sight. And then I believe there was a core set in the same year. And that would be your like standard rotation. There wasn't Commander back then. There were starter decks that you could buy for things, but there was not Commander product back then. And as we've moved on, we've gotten to this point where it just feels like we never get a chance to breathe, right? And for folks like myself, I cannot keep up with the products financially, and it's kind of exhausting, right? It feels like a permanent spoiler season, but I can't imagine what it's like for much bigger creators like the Prof and the MTG Goldfish guys and all of those folks who do that, who do Magic as their mainline job. But for the regular folks like us, right? It's just so much, and with increasing prices in the economy, it just you feel left out if you don't buy, but you also have a financial strain, right? Like I myself, I work a regular job. So does my wife, and I saved up to be able to buy a box of Edge of Eternities. And yes, I, for one, will always advocate buy singles products. It's more responsible, but I've just always loved the nostalgia of cracking open some packs, right? Like I've got, the shiny lands and stuff. It's just super fun to be able to open up. So let's kind of talk around a timeline that's happening right now, and kind of like how it's emblematic of everything kind of going on. So we just had Final Fantasy. It feels like 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago. It feels very, very recent. And no sooner was Final Fantasy out than we started getting spoilers for Edge of Eternities. And I'll be perfectly honest with you. Like I said in the intro, I don't know too much about Final Fantasy. I only ever played Final Fantasy X because it came with my PS2. So I wasn't super hyped for the set. But then, like, I saw the cards, like Kuja, like Vivi, like Tifa, and some of the other ones, and it was pretty well done. But the problem is that the set came out. It did amazing, right? We all know it's the best-selling set of all time, but then immediately the hype went to Edge of Eternities, and I will tell you, full disclaimer, I was and still am extremely hyped for Edge of Eternities. I love the card flavor. I love the arts, right? And it's pre-release weekend, and even before we got to Friday, we started getting a bunch of Spider-Man spoilers, right? And in between Final Fantasy and Edge of Eternities, we had another Universes Beyond Secret Lair that was somewhat exclusive, right? We had the Sonic Secret Lair. So we had Final Fantasy immediately get interrupted by both Edge of Eternities and Sonic, and now Edge of Eternities hasn't even made it to release weekend, and we have Spider-Man previews. Now, I wanna say fully, I don't think that like Wizards is deliberately ever trying to like undermine their own products, right? Like it's Comic-Con. It makes perfect sense. And it's just unfortunate that they lined up the way they do. It kind of, it feels like a lot. And then we also then got a Katara preview card. And, you know, a few months ago we got the Aang card. And I will tell you this, I'm a huge Avatar The Last Airbender fan. I'm extremely excited for that set. I hope it does both Avatar The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra. I'm a fan of both, a big fan of both. And that's the Universes Beyond product that I'm super excited for. I'm not hugely excited for Spider-Man. I love some of the other Marvel superheroes, but Spider-Man's just not my hero, right? And so that's what I wanted to kind of let people know, right? It's okay to not buy into everything. Especially now, I will say if you're a standard player, that's a little bit more difficult. But it's okay to take a break if you need to. If you're feeling overwhelmed, if the amount of product and cards coming at you is just too much to handle. But for a lot of us who are Commander players, you don't need to buy into every set. For Final Fantasy, I bought one Japanese collector booster pack, not box. God no, not a box. And 2 play booster packs for that. That scratched my itch for pack opening for me. And then for Edge of Eternities, because I was really excited for it, I got a booster box and the 2 commander decks and a couple collector booster packs. It's a lot more than what I probably should have spent on it, but there's still some singles that I want to get from it. I need to get my Momenon. I did not get Momenon from the box or anything, but I got some of the good cards. But it's okay to not have to constantly update your deck. I will, of course, always try to do my best to let anybody who watches know what are the good cards. But I would say, especially for those of us who have that day job and, you know, like we all have mortgages, we all have bills to pay. I have a daughter, you know, that I've got to pay for daycare for, and you know, I'll buy her way too many Pokemon stuffies. You have no idea. If there were Magic stuffies in good quantities, believe me, I'd probably be buying lots of Magic stuffies for her too. But the thing is like, I'm afraid that it's just going to increase, right? Like, so what might be the next Universes Beyond Secret Lair to fill the gap that will happen between Spider-Man and Avatar? Will Avatar start spoiling more cards, undermining the hype around Spider-Man, right? I understand logically the business model that they're doing. I can understand why they're doing it. I just wish that we had a little bit more time. If you reduce the sets by like even 1 or 2 or spaced out the products a little bit more, like I could financially recover between one set and the other set, right? Because even if you're just buying singles, like if you have to buy 10 to 15 singles out of every, or if you feel you have to buy 10 to 15 singles out of every set to be able to keep up, it piles on and piles on. And especially when you're making that mortgage payment, your rent payment, car payment, student loans, or whatever it is, you know, you don't have that money for enough money to keep up with the hobby that we all love. And at the end of the day, I want to see everybody to be able to enjoy the game. One of the biggest things that I will always advocate for is for Magic to be more affordable. to have prices that make it accessible to everybody, because I don't think that the hobby should be an exclusive, right? We play with paper, cardboard pieces of paper, and it's not like some of the other things that I collect, like my history stuff back there, like my Roman coin or the infantry radio and stuff like that back there. Um, those sit. We play with our game pieces, and if you want people to play, it should be more affordable. And just a simple way to make it more affordable, if you can't bring down the prices, is to space product out to allow us to financially recover a little bit more. That being said, I am still very excited for Avatar. I managed to get one of the Sonic secret layers because it didn't sell out right away, which I will credit Wizards for doing a much better job. I didn't get any of the Marvel secret layers when they came out, the ones with Storm and Captain America, because they were sold out before I could even get a chance. I got Deadpool, one of them, only because I'm assuming because people didn't know about it at first, and I managed to get in pretty quick. But yeah, Spider-Man, I'll probably pick up a couple packs from it. It looks interesting. I did like the Across the Spider-Verse and Into the Spider-Verse movies a lot. So seeing some of those returning characters, hopefully, I know the cards that they spoiled were from like the intro decks. None of them overly powerful, which is fine. I don't think that every set needs to be absolutely cracked. Not every set has to dial it up to 11. Like just having a good fun set, that works too. But I'm interested to see what some of the cards are from the mainline set. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Are for those of you who are like me, working a regular day job, trying to have your hobbies and all of that stuff, are you finding it difficult to keep up? Are you okay with the whole product release schedule? Are you okay with spoiler seasons overlapping? Or what would you like to see? And as always, like, what's a good solution, right? Because we can't just be like, well, this is wrong, and then not offer a solution, right? I think, like I said, the best solution would be to just space out a few more weeks. If you have to do the same amount of product, try to space them out a few more weeks, and try to line up secret layers a little bit differently. But other than that, yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, we have the Discord. Right now, it's pretty much only my personal friends, but we'd be glad to have you there. You can talk any sort of content over there. I'll still be doing my deck techs, and I'll be back with some spell table games once I learn a little bit better editing. I want to make things more clear because, like, I can't control all of the video quality on there, so I'm gonna try to do things like put more images of cards up, do things like make sure that make some more visuals. And I need to do a better job at being more interacting in those games, especially with random folks, because I know it's a little bit difficult to do so, but I'm going to try my best. I thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.